Hey guys, it's Jessie here from Black Cats and Cards, and today I'm actually going to be baking for you guys. This is a vegan coffee cake that I made, and I had it in one of my videos. I think it was my Dark Oracle collection video. I mentioned that I would do a video for this if anybody wanted it, and one of you did say that you wanted to see it, so this is that video, and I hope that you guys enjoy it. We're going to start with the wet ingredients, which includes the sugar, and I realized I forgot to grab the milk out of the fridge. I'm going to be using almond milk, but you can use any kind of non-dairy milk that you want. You're going to need a neutral oil. I'm using vegetable oil because that's just what I have on hand, but you can use coconut oil, whatever kind of neutral oil that you want to use. I'm also going to be using applesauce, as well as a non-dairy yogurt, apple cider vinegar, vanilla extract. I have artificial, I just have a ton of it on hand, so I'm going to be using that. Some almond extract, which is optional, and white sugar. You can start. So you're going to want 1 cup of your non-dairy milk, 1 tablespoon of your applesauce, 1 tablespoon of your non-dairy yogurt, so we want 1 teaspoon of the apple cider vinegar, a 1/4 of a cup of your neutral oil, and I should mention, I do have my oven preheating to 350 right now, 350 Fahrenheit. I actually have no idea what that is in Celsius, 175 Celsius. And we're going to be using 1 teaspoon of the vanilla extract. And just a little splash of the almond extract. And then the sugar, we're going to want 1/3 of a cup of white sugar. Okay, and then you just want to mix this. I use a fork just because it's easy. And you're going to want to mix this until the sugar is fully combined in here. So we're going to set that aside. And we're going to grab this bowl. And we're going to prep the dry ingredients. So we're going to be using some unbleached flour. And I'm actually going to grab down some whole wheat flour as well, because I like using a mix. So I'm going to be using unbleached flour as well as whole wheat flour. We're going to be using baking powder, baking soda, and a little bit of salt. I'm also going to be combining some spices into here, so you can use whatever spices you want. Personally, I'm going to be using some cinnamon and some nutmeg. So we're going to go ahead and grab 1 cup of unbleached flour. Three-quarters of a cup of the whole wheat flour, two teaspoons of baking powder, 1/4 of a teaspoon baking soda. And 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And I will have all of the recipe in the description below, so you don't have to try and like remember what I'm saying or anything like that. Don't need to be taking notes. I'm just gonna grab another fork. And just combine this. So this is also where you're going to add your spices. I'm using cinnamon. I'm going to use about 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon. And just a pinch of nutmeg. So at this point, you're going to want to make sure that you prep an 8x8 baking dish. I'm using a glass baking dish that I actually have a lid for so that I can store this in the fridge after it is done and I've had a slice, obviously. We're just going to start on the streusel topping. You're going to want 1/2 cup of flour. 1/3 cup of brown sugar. 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Two teaspoons of cinnamon. And I'm going to add a pinch of nutmeg into the streusel as well. And then you're going to want some vegan butter. I'm using the Earth Balance brand. You're going to want about 1 tablespoon. And you're going to want to get your neutral oil back out, and you're going to want about 2 tablespoons. And this is the part that's going to get a little bit messy. You're going to want to mix this with your fingers. I think we're there for the streusel topping. It's very crumbly, so I'm just going to brush it off my fingers. Set that aside, rinse my hands really quick. And this is when you want to get your other 2 mixtures back out. You're going to fold the dry into the wet until you have kind of a thick batter consistency. And you're going to want to pour this into your baking dish. And then you're going to want to top it with the streusel topping that we made. Alright, and you want to pop it in the preheated oven, 350 again, for about 35 to 45 minutes, or until a toothpick comes out of the middle of it clean. In the meantime, I thought I would just make myself a cup of coffee so that I can enjoy with a slice of the cake. Okay, so you'll want to let your cake cool for about 10 minutes before you try slicing it, but make sure that I was going to say Q-tip, don't stick Q-tips in your cake. Make sure that toothpick comes out clean before you finish, and I like to just use a bread knife. delicious. And that is it. So I hope that this has helped even one of you guys feel a little bit more comfortable undertaking some vegan baking. If you liked this, be sure to let me know in the comments. I would love to do more baking videos in the future, and I'm sure that I could make them a little bit less awkward than this one was. This was my first time filming anything in my kitchen, so cut me a little bit of slack if it was a little bit weird or if some parts were out of focus. I apologize, but overall I hope that everybody enjoyed this, and I hope that you enjoy the cake if you do decide to make it. So I hope that you guys have a good day, month, year, and love and light. Bye.